They said to me, Brad, the only reason that we're buying this house is because of the lawn gnomes that are in that backyard. And we don't want to buy it otherwise. But hey, you were supposed to leave that washer and dryer. It was in the purchase agreement that you would leave it. Now the buyers have gotten there. There's no washer dryer, so they're kind of angry about it. So they said to me, well, Brad, there was a lot going on. We didn't really read that in the purchase agreement. I understand we signed and initialed and dated it and everything else. But then, so finally, to kind of end the topic or end the question, Mr. Seller said to me, Brad, I'd still like to be your friend.
Even though I took the washer?
Even though I took the washer and dryer. So that was his way of telling me, you figure this out somehow, because we're not bringing the washer and dryer back. Okay, we'll get started. Welcome to Nightmare on 123 Main Street. We are here again, back at our podcast studio, if you will. Grateful to be here. Got some good stuff here today. I have our guest, Cesar Guerrero from Luxury Comfort Solutions, so looking forward to talking with him. Thanks for being here, Cesar.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it, man. As always, Nightmare on 123 Main Street. I am Brad Holz, owner and broker of the 1867 Collective. And you can find us, the 1867 Collective, at www.the1867collective.com. And you might be surprised to know you can find us the same sort of a thing on Instagram and on Facebook and on TikTok, the 1867 Collective. So lots of different places you can find us. And Nightmare on 123 Main Street, of course, we have our YouTube channel as well. So do look for that, Nightmare on 123 Main Street. In general, we share lots of fun horror. We call them horror stories. They're not true horror stories to where we have somebody actually get hurt or something like that. But horror stories, they're kind of nuts in the moment. Now we talk about them for fun. We hide the names of the innocent. We're not looking to offend anybody, not looking to air anybody's dirty laundry either. We just kind of talk about these things in the past, and now we get to kind of laugh and giggle about them and stuff like this. Kind of a new thing I wanted to share here as we have our guests and wonderful stories from them. I'm going to share on a weekly basis some things that are going on in my life in terms of real estate. As broker owner, I'm much more on the back end of things, and I kind of watch and try to supervise a little bit as my agents are actively out there working. My business partner, Rachel Rentschler, is really out there working hard, so she tells me lots of crazy things. But always like to share some crazy things that happen in the market and happen in the marketplace here today as it is going. I had a gentleman, past client of mine, call me that was interested in looking at a commercial property that was land. It wasn't a structure. And so he called me and said, hey, I'd love to be able to find out more about this property. If it's still for sale, please let me know. So sure enough, I went on the MLS as I do and tried to find out more about this, if it's even for sale anymore. And it was for sale for $325,000. And so reached back out to him and said, hey, it is for sale. Would you like to know more? Are you even considering making an offer? And then pretty abruptly, he in text message, he said, thank you, but no. So I was a little taken back, a little confused even by what was happening there. But then come to find out, or come to remember, would probably be a better way to say it. As I was talking with this gentleman, he kept mentioning this lot for $30,000. That lot for $30,000 that's available. Can you find out more about it? It's by this restaurant. It's $30,000. And so I started remembering and thinking, oh, so what happened was he forgot that last zero on the paper there. So he was not expecting that $325,000 price tag. So that's my horror story. No, that's not a horror story. That's just a funny little thing that happens commonly in real estate.
Well, if he wasn't going to buy it for $30,000, I would have.
There you go. Right, a good opportunity. Yeah, for sure. I know. Probably in that moment when he saw that it was $30,000, he was thinking, "Oh, great! Nobody else knows about this. I'm going to go for it." Yeah. Oh, gosh. So, okay. Anyways, to the meat of the podcast here. So, Cesar from Luxury Comfort Solutions. Cesar, I know a little bit about you. I've gotten to know you, which has been awesome. But tell people a little bit about who you are, who your business is. What do you do?
I'm actually the owner of Luxury Comfort Solutions, which actually started as Luxury Heating and Air.
Okay.
In 2012 is when I started the business. Honestly, I've been doing this for almost 24 years now. And
wow.
about 10 years ago, I think I finally just decided to make the jump and
Okay.
start my own business. My background's mostly in all in heating and air conditioning. And then kind of jumped into it. You know, my wife was a little scared of me starting my own business. And so we actually wrote just on a piece of paper. I think we wrote down one sentence. She was like, "What's your 5-year goal?" And actually, I wrote down that let me have one employee working 40 hours a week, and I've been happy as can be. And I think when we actually turned around 5 years later, I think we had 21 at the time.
Oh my gosh!
So I think
holy cow, that's awesome.
So I think we're up to 38 now here.
Wow.
You know, 5 years after that. So
So you worked in heating and air.
Mm-hmm.
You've done it for 24 years, and then 10 years ago is when you started your own company.
yep, started my own company,
Awesome.
and then
Okay.
about 7 years ago we got into radon. So that's
Okay.
how we kind of jumped into radon quite a bit. We looked at a lot of the competition around, and there really is not a lot of competition for it.
Yeah.
And it kind of made sense just because my guys can do that kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
we went and got certified for it, everything. And then eventually a few realtors started calling us for, you know, radon stuff. And eventually they started kind of jokingly asking, when are you guys starting a home inspection business? And I was like, that's really not a bad idea.
Right. Yeah.
So I kind of looked into it, and we kind of jumped into it. We got some guys certified, and we got into that. At that point, I just wasn't sure whether luxury heating and air would fit that category
Right,
anymore.
sure.
So
Yeah, yeah.
I decided to change the name as, you know, doing business as Luxury Comfort Solutions. And just because we never know where we're going to stop, whether we
Right.
decide to add plumbing, electrical, anything along those lines.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Well, so okay, this is maybe kind of not a silly question, but a simplistic question, because we try to cater to lots of different people on
Yep.
the podcast, so not just realtors and home inspectors and things like that, but to just kind of the general public. So, basic question: what's radon? What is that?
Radon is basically it's a natural gas that's in the earth. It's built up by uranium in the ground.
Okay.
Nebraska is like the third highest state in the country for radon.
Yeah,
So
okay, yeah.
just about anywhere you test, you're actually somewhat of a level. You know, according to the EPA, anything above 4, they recommend mitigation, which is
Okay.
basically figuring out a way how to get rid of that gas in the home.
Gotcha,
Anything
okay.
under 4, they consider safe. But the World Health Organization only does it at 2.7. So
Oh, interesting,
they want you
okay.
to stay under 2.7 is what they want. But
Okay.
it's basically it's an odorless, tasteless. You can't see it. It's a gas in the air that basically causes cancer. Is what it is.
Okay.
So you know you want to mitigate it. You know, especially if you have family members that sleep in the basement or your master bedroom's in the basement.
Right.
You know, the only way to truly know is whether you test.
Yeah,
You know, we've tested duplexes. One side came back high, one came back low. So it's just a
wow.
matter of depends on the buildup in the ground underneath your home.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, for
yeah.
for people that don't deal with radon a lot,
Yeah.
no, it's absolutely an important thing to talk about it. And like you say, Nebraska is the third highest. I know in other real estate markets in other states, as I talk to different agents, I mean, radon, they don't even know what that is.
Yeah,
because they
yeah.
never deal with it. But here it's big
And
deal.
it's becoming more of a bigger issue just because now you have to do it with new construction. You know,
Right, okay.
Up to about a year and a half ago, you didn't have to do anything at all. Even
Yeah.
real estate transactions, you still technically don't have to.
Right,
New
right.
construction, you at least have to rough in for it now.
Okay, so you
it's-
have at least
yep.
the rough in for it.
At
I
least the
gotcha.
rough in, yep.
Okay,
So-
gotcha. Interesting. Okay, cool. Well, thank you. Awesome.
yeah.
Very. Again, Cesar's been wonderful to get to know. Cesar's been a wonderful supporter of the 1867 Collective, and as we got started, Rachel and I, it was great to hear that somebody else did something similar-ish
Yeah,
and
oh,
is succeeding so well. So hopefully one day we work up to that. Goodness.
Yeah,
But yeah, I appreciate that. Well, so okay, so working with home inspections, you do. I mean, you see, there's all kinds of stuff on social media, lots of fun pictures
Oh,
and
yeah.
funny pictures of what homeowners do to fix things or whatever. Anyways, there's lots of them. But so I asked you to kind of bring us a fun, scary story. So well, go for it. I'll let you talk.
It all depends, of course. You know, on the radon side, we've seen a few scary things. Nothing that would ever be like, okay, wow. Home inspection, every day we see stuff. I mean, even last week we actually did an inspection on a fourplex that a guy wanted to buy it for an investment property.
Okay.
And we went there, and there's literally no water, no electricity to the house, but every space is taken. So we did.
So there were people living there?
People living there.
Oh, wow. Okay.
First one we walk into, and I actually got pictures of this, but of course they had pets, and I don't think they've ever let them outside.
Oh,
so
okay.
everywhere you went, and you're talking in the master bedroom, on their.
Oh, wow.
There was no hamper. There was literally jeans, t-shirts everywhere, and there was feces all over.
Oh, gosh.
And the trusses were starting to give. They were starting to rot because of so much urine that was built up on the floor.
Man.
So it can get pretty bad.
Yeah.
And on one side of them, they actually had somebody, like a kid living there. So there was no running water, so obviously they must be going somewhere else to shower.
Right.
You know, at that point, it does break your heart because, you know, you have a kid living there. And,
yeah.
But, you know, we've seen from that kind of stuff to on the heating and air side, actually, me personally, God, this was a while back, it was an inspection. It was a furnace inspection.
Okay.
And when I knocked on the door, it was an elderly lady. She probably had to have been at least 75 to 80 years old.
Okay.
Really nice lady. You could tell she was a little bit out of it. She'd answer the door. She had a portable TV in her hand because she was watching her soap operas. She wanted to make sure she didn't miss anything.
Right.
Obviously, she was there by herself. Nobody around.
By herself. Yeah.
And a little bit of a funk to the house for sure. Like she hadn't left the house in a while. And so I told her what I was there to do. She turns around, and it's nothing but feces behind her.
Oh, jeez.
And
jeez, again with the feces. Holy cow.
It was pretty much everywhere. And I kind of knew what I was walking into. I was like, crap.
Oh, wow.
So start walking through the house, and of course, it's a mess. I mean, she obviously hasn't left the house in a while, and somebody must be bringing her groceries or something. But I ended up tripping on the carpet.
Oh, no.
When I tripped on the carpet, I didn't trip because I tripped. I tripped because there was cracks in the carpet where it was crusty, that it hadn't been vacuumed or cleaned in such a long time.
Oh,
so
man.
it was like a chip. The minute I tripped on it, I actually broke the carpet. It actually snapped.
Oh,
because how crusty it was.
So brittle and wow.
Yeah, so it was pretty brittle and everything. So that was pretty crazy. She took me around the side to towards the kitchen to go down to the basement, and it was nothing but cockroaches going in the sink. It was pretty bad.
Jeez, yeah, right.
Made it down to the basement. I mean, just cobwebs like no other.
Sure, yeah.
So we get down to the furnace, and right away we knew that it was a pretty bad system. There was really no point even looking at it. It was.
Yeah.
I don't know whether that even worked. It didn't look like it had worked in years.
Yeah, right.
But the crazy thing, I was like, well, let me look around. I took the door off, the bottom door off.
Of the furnace.
Okay,
yeah.
And in the blower compartment, there was a whole family of kittens that looked like had been there probably for 15 years. And all there was bones.
Oh,
and,
no.
They were literally just laid out inside the furnace. And you could see a little bit of fur, but it looks like they had just laid down, and they just never woke up.
Oh, jeez.
So at that point, I basically went back to the truck, and we had to call somebody.
Right.
Obviously, whether somebody has delivering food to her and just leaving at the door, maybe haven't been inside, but at that point, somebody had to know that, okay, what's going on here?
Right, yeah. Holy cow.
So
is that something where, like, the police department ends up getting involved? And
you almost have to because,
at
that point, we can't say that, is there family around? Is she the, the only one in town here? Maybe the rest of her family. So we actually, we called... I think that at that time we called the realtor that was involved with it just because we didn't want to go around them. We wanted to make sure that they're involved because it's their house, their property.
Their listing,
but I think the cops were called. And
it
sounds like a few months later I heard that basically she had no family members here.
Right.
And she was just kind of out of it. Sounds like groceries were delivered to her and just left at the door, so nobody had been inside the house.
Knew.
So... and I'm sure it probably worked out to a point where she probably had to go to a home somehow.
Right. Oh, sure. Yeah. Holy cow.
So
is that something that you feel like that even early on as you started working in the HVAC field, that you started to kind of get a picture of how people lived?
Oh, yeah.
And how it was very maybe different from what you were used to and whatnot even?
Yeah. No, it's amazing some of the stuff just because, as I did service for a long time when I first started that I got to go to 8 to 10 houses a day sometimes, and you could see from $1 million homes to your very basic home, and it's amazing what you see. And I've seen some crazy stuff at $1 million homes, and I've seen
Right.
some, so it's just a matter of a difference. I've been offered cocaine at the door. I've been offered to pay with
jeez.
weed. I've been offered,
Oh, my
you name it. I've
goodness.
been
Yeah,
asked.
right.
I mean, I've been solicited for sex. It's been, yeah,
Holy cow.
it's pretty crazy. what
I
you're
don't have
into.
any money, but let's work something else out.
And I have, yeah.
Oh,
So,
jeez.
yeah, it's a payment
wow.
method in some countries.
Right,
I
and
guess.
absolutely. Yeah, that's
in
true.
some
Yeah, in
countries,
some
it is.
countries. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Cesar. Holy cow. That's
Yep.
nuts. Oh, wow.
It's pretty nuts. It's a lot of cool stories to tell, for
Yeah,
sure.
right,
But some
right.
of them you wish you didn't have to tell.
Absolutely.
So,
Oh yeah,
yep.
things like that. Holy
Yep.
cow. Ooh, well, yeah, that is a story. Oh
Yeah.
man,
Oh, yeah.
Two really really
Yeah.
good stories. Definitely some crazy things happening there. So, well, yeah, so I mean, I guess holy cow, it's almost like, as we go through real estate transactions and certain things like this happen, I swear that there's like, okay, well, so next time I'll be sure to ask for this and stuff
Oh,
like
yeah.
that. I mean, there isn't really a question when you ask of like, is there feces on the floor?
Yeah, there's not a really good question to ask over the phone.
Yeah.
Like, are they senile or are they,
Right,
so many
right.
different things, yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, so no, I guess probably the good rule of thumb for you is just expect the unexpected.
You do.
You just never
Yeah.
really know. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. What to expect as you're going into a home. And like you say, it doesn't really matter the size or the value or whatever of the home. It's just the people. You just really never
Yeah.
know what kind of person
Yeah, it depends on how they were raised, there's so many different
Where they're
things
from
that-
even,
Where
yeah,
they're
yeah.
from, different values in life, different things that you
Sure,
see,
different.
necessities.
You never know. Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. Yep.
All very different. Wow. Well, great. Well, great in that was a great story. Sad. Still some sad stories there for sure. But definitely very good stories. So what about the people that are listening and watching and stuff like that? How can they find Luxury Comfort Solutions on social media, online, or in general?
Yeah.
Or they can find it?
We're everywhere. Honestly, how many different aspects of social media is there now?
I know,
we
right.
definitely have Snapchat to YouTube videos to I think we have TikTok now.
Yeah.
You name it, we have it. Facebook. So it's www.luxurycomfortsolutions.com is where our site is at. But we have vans everywhere in Lincoln, so they're tagged with everything. You can actually the next thing I need to do is put a QR code on every van. Just
Right.
I think it'd be easier
People
than trying
do
to
that. That's
yep.
true.
So-
Oh yeah. Good. So do you feel like most of the social media handles are going to be Luxury Comfort Solutions, or are there a couple of variations out there? Do you feel like?
No, we've tried
Most
to
of
get
them? Okay.
we've tried getting rid of it. So if somebody actually does look up luxury heating and air, it
Okay.
actually takes you to Luxury Comfort Solutions.
Oh, does it really?
So
nice.
anytime anybody clicks anything like that, it actually
good.
takes you to Luxury Comfort Solutions now.
Oh,
so
good.
whether I still have an email of Luxury Heating and Air, so if somebody emails me there, it actually directs me to my other one.
To your other one. Oh, okay. I
Yep.
gotcha. Okay,
Yep.
cool. Well, good. Yeah, lots of
Yeah.
different. And then how about if people would want to schedule a home inspection or even get information estimate-wise and things of that nature, how would they do it?
Best thing is just call our office.
Okay.
Call the office and talk to us, and we have several dispatchers that will basically answer any of the questions, tell you anything you need to know, whether you have more questions from us or we need to tell you something. Otherwise, you can actually go online and set up an appointment online too.
Oh, okay. Oh, very
yeah.
nice. Just at that luxurycomfortsolutions.com.
Yep.
Oh, and what's your office number?
It's 402-610-1106.
Cool. Awesome. People be able to call that as they need you. Well, awesome. Well, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
really appreciate that. And I always want people to get information from you on how to contact you as well, so they can hopefully
definitely.
be able to get some more information from you. Well, so again, thank you to Cesar. Appreciate those stories and appreciate his presence here on the podcast. As you would like to, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel, and the Nightmare on 123 Main Street is our Instagram, so please do follow that as you have a chance. I'm Brad Hulse, 1867 Collective. Cesar, again, thank you. Luxury
Thanks for
Comfort
having me.
Solutions. Yeah, I really appreciate you. For us, that is it. We will catch you guys next week, whenever that happens to be. Thank you.